Hello everybody! Today I'm going to be reviewing the first batch of the DLC content released for the version 2.0 update of the Ultimate Bendy mod. If you have seen the previous videos, then you will know that there is the feature where you can install DLC content and then add it to the game, and these content was not in the game before, nor was it added by me but by other people. So in this video I'm going to be showing you the ones that already exist. And also, at the end of this video I'm going to show you something that I am working on as an addition to this version of the mod, so stay tuned for that as well. Also, I will be leaving links to the DLC content in the description, and in order to download them you don't need anything special. If you already installed the mod, then you know where the Bendy data is located. If you don't, it's in the same place where it shows in the installer as the default one. And you just have to download the archives with the DLC, then extract them into the streaming assets folder inside the Bendy data folder, and now you're set to use them whenever you want. So I'm going to be showcasing different ones, some that are NPC riskins and some that are playable characters. Now, the first bundle that I'm going to be showing to you is a bundle made by Nide, the fan game developer behind Deception of My Mind fan game, and a good friend of mine with whom I have been beta testing this version of the mod before it even came out. So you're going to see some of the DLC content he made while testing today, and some more that was added in later as well. So the first one is the Twisted Bendy from the Deception of My Mind fan game, which you could have already seen from a DLC for Joey Drew's Sandbox. Now, if you look at it, this thing is absolutely terrifying, combining elements of the current Bendy and the concept Bendy as well. Now, currently it's for some reason stuck in the wall, but that can be fixed. So let's try to delete this one and we'll respawn it again. So yeah, if you want to spawn this one, you go spawn rescanned, Ink Bendy, Nide, Twisted Bendy, and hit enter. So now you can see it in all of its scary glory, the bow tie and the open split mouth. This is a very scary version of Bendy. Now currently he's chasing me and it is inside me. You can take another look at how scary this thing is, so if you want nightmares you can spawn it in and play with it. Now, NPC riskins aren't the only ones in this bundle. There is also a playable character, which is the same character we are currently playing as, but in 3D form. That is their vision of how this character is in 3D. So now we can do become Nide Henry. And if you look at this, we are still Henry, but we are the 3D version of him. And this is a fully functional playable character, which can run, jump, walk. You can take a look at his design. If you ever wanted to play as Henry in third person, this is a bundle that you should get. You can also see that he has a very functioning axe which can be used to kill enemies. Like this searcher that I just spawned in, you can actually kill it with the axe. And if you actually want to chop some planks as well, it's going to work. So let me find a plank here real quick. There we go, as you can see the axe is totally functional and working. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting experience, and I would recommend you to install this and to check out how you would be able to play as Henry in third person. I Ironically, in order to actually disable the playable character, you have to type in the become Henry command. While we are still Henry, but we are now Henry in first person again. And now we can take a look at the other DLC content that I am going to show you. So one more character that they have made is actually a reskin of Alison that is based on a character designed by the artist of his game studio. And if we type in spawn reskinned Alison Night Hickory, you can actually spawn in this very interesting creature. This NPC looks a lot like both Audrey from the Dark Revival and A Lost One, and of course Alison herself. And I can't help but notice how good the shading on this is. Like, the material is very amazing. You can see all the details and the glow of the ink and the eyes. So this is a pretty interesting aesthetically looking NPC. And one other thing is that this is actually an ally, which can help you. So it's not as scary as it looks. So now, if I can get her to become aggressive, which I just did with this searcher, now she's actually going to be helping me. Go ahead and kill this guy. Don't let him fall. Well, I had God mode on, but still. Thanks for the help. You look amazing still. Now I'm going to show you some other DLC content created by another friend of mine who is also on YouTube, and I have their channel in my suggested channels. Their name is Roxy260, and they are also a very active person in the server for the mod, and they also helped with the testing as well. So one of the things that they have are ally versions of the Twisted Trio, which is Ink Bendy, Twisted Alice, and Brute Boris, but they are now allies that help you, kind of like what we have in Joey Drew's sandbox. So now if I do spawn reskinned Tom, Roxy, Ink Bendy, we now get a version of Ink Bendy which is going to help us. As you can see, it chases us, but it's friendly and doesn't want to attack us. But we can make this Ink Bendy attack for us if I can just get him to become aggressive. There we go, the searcher spawned in. There, as you can see, he did the animation where he punches from the Chapter 4 projectionist battle. So let's reenact it. Spawn Norman. This also works. So there we go. Go ahead, get him, Ink Bendy, like you did in Chapter 4. Get him. Why is he dying already? Let's rip off his head. This guy actually has a lot more health for speed. How many health do you have? Injections. Die. Finally. Bendy is victorious once again, like in Chapter 4, and the projectionist is now collapsed through the wall, but let's ignore that for now. Another one that they did is Brute Boris, which we can spawn also as a reskin for Tom. So spawn reskinned Tom, Roxy, Brute Boris. And now we can actually have a version of Brute Boris that is our ally. So imagine if instead of fighting him in Chapter 4, we would actually befriend him, and Brute Boris would still be an ally to us. That would have been actually a way better way of doing things than what we had in the actual ending of Chapter 4, even though I like the chapter a lot and the boss battle. Here we go. As you can see, he has just slaughtered a searcher. This makes him very useful. And imagine if he used his strength to help us in the Lost Harbor boss battle in Chapter 5. So for example, if we spawn a lost one, he's actually going to kill it pretty easily. Go ahead, get him. There we go. He has just killed a lost one with minimal effort. This is really awesome, and I wish he would be there for us, even in brute form in Chapter 5. And finally, we have the one that actually made Boris into this, Twisted Alice. We can actually spawn her as an ally over Alison. As you can see, she is there, but she isn't hostile toward us, and is actually our friend in this version. Hopefully now we can get her to attack things, and it's kind of a problem in Chapter 1 because the pacifying is kind of off. So maybe you can kill him. Like you see, there's a searcher. It's pretty dangerous. You won't want him touching you. He could have pulled you back into the ink dimension where you came from. Hey, kill him. Great. Finally. There we go. Now Twisted Alice is ready for battle. So maybe now she can eliminate the Butcher Gang on her own, instead of having Henry do it for her. Here we go, the Butcher Gang spawn in, get him! Get him, get him. I'm not doing anything. Come on, do it. Oh, wow. She literally killed him so fast. Well, she's kind of skilled, because if you know, in Chapter 3, she is actually able to harvest the Butcher Gang members herself. Then why did she ask Henry? I guess there was no point, she was just toying with him. But here she's actually pretty useful. Now, they also made 2 more reskins which are very different. So the first one is actually Dark Revival Bendy in the original Bendy and the Ink machine. So if you do spawn reskinned Ink Bendy, Roxy, DR Bendy, which stands for Dark Revival, you will get a very close looking Dark Revival Bendy before the actual game comes out. Now we don't know when the game will come out or whether it will actually come out thanks to the lawsuit, but hopefully it does come out one day, and if it will, I will try to mod it as well. But if you can't wait, then you should definitely check this out, and you should even set it so that this Bendy replaces the regular Bendy reskins to get the full experience before it's out. Now I'll have to delete this guy because he's going in the wall and I don't want to see that. There we go, he's finally gone. And now I can show off the third part of the NPC bundles. Oh, you're still here, I kind of forgot about you. But you're actually going to be useful, because next up we have Brute Boris reskinned as Heavy from Team Fortress 2, which is an absurd combination, but it kind of works. So if we do spawn reskinned, Brute Boris, Roxy, Heavy, you can see we now have Heavy in Bendy and Ink machine. He looks kind of weird with his head wobbling and the huge arms, but they're actually a pretty good match. It's pretty funny seeing him walk around like that, but it's also pretty terrifying. And it's very scary. The ally is trying to kill him, but as we know, he's invincible in this mod because otherwise it will break as he can't progress into further stages of the boss fight. This is pretty intimidating, having this huge guy following me around. Okay, punching me now, and she's trying to do something. But both of them can't get past this pipe, because this is like the one thing the NPCs can do. They can't jump like the player can. So maybe I should put them out of their misery. And now for the final part of this video, I'm actually going to show you a bundle that I'm actually making for this mod as an addition, but it's not done yet. I'm still adding in some stuff, but you can already see something. So one thing that has never been in the Ultimate Bendy mod is the ability to spawn in interactable objects, but this is about to change. So for example, if I wanted to make music, I can do spawn custom interactable objects, violin. Now we can spawn it in and play it like normally in chapter 2. As you can see, it's working, and this goes for every instrument, so we can also spawn other ones as well. Like, we can spawn in the banjo and play it as well. Then we can also spawn the piano. If we do spawn custom interactable objects piano, you can see it's also working. And we can get the 2 remaining ones. We can get the drum as well. And finally we can get the bass fiddle or cello or whatever it's called. You can see it's also playable. So now we have a full collection of musical instruments in chapter 1 where they don't normally spawn in. Now there are more things which you can spawn. For example, you can spawn breakable things like a breakable plank. So you can do spawn custom interactable objects, breakable plank. Let's spawn 10 because why not? And now we can actually chop them down with the axe, because there's nothing more fun than just breaking a bunch of planks. This is so satisfying. Now you can spawn them as much as you want in the game. And we can also spawn in breakable bendy cutouts as well if you want to break that and relive some of the fun of chapter 3 without dealing with spawnable link bendy. You can actually spawn these in any place. Looks like the one in chapter 1, but if we break it, it actually falls into a lot of different pieces like it does in chapters 2 and 3. And finally, the last cool thing which we can spawn is actually a little miracle station, any place you want. So if we do spawn custom interactable objects, a little miracle station, you can spawn a working station at any time, in any place, to get out of trouble. You can enter it in any place, as you can see, and get a nice view of this wall because I placed it on this spot. And now I also fell through it because this spot is kind of weird, but okay. That was just my mistake, but it works, as you can see. And you can hide anywhere you want on the map by just spawning this thing. So that's all that I wanted to show you in this video. Now I will be doing more videos on different topics in the future, so stay tuned for that. And if you want another video on viewer suggestions or maybe a questions and answers video, I can do that as well. Just leave suggestions. Also leave suggestions for future DLC content.
Looks like they knocked out a wall or two after I left. Guess it took a few people to replace me.
So yeah, stay tuned for more content in the future. And that's all that I had for you in this video. So now I'm going to end it. Thank you everybody for watching.